But solid food is for the mature, for those who have their powers of discernment trained by constant. Look at your neighbor and say, are you constant? Constant practice. Look at your other neighbor and say, are you practicing to distinguish good from evil? This is really key in this verse because it's talking about maturity. Maturity is the practice, well, it's the application, I should say, of constant practice. Constant practice. That means it's a daily discipline. It means it's something that's acted upon. We were just talking about faith being something that's acted upon. It means it's something that's put into action. So in order to move into maturity, there has to be a measure of action that is applied to the faith you believe in your life. Otherwise, there's no maturity. This is why James says, don't be deceived, right? He said, be doers of the word, not just hearers, and thus being deceived. Because if you are a hearer of the word, but you don't actually apply the truth that you hear, you actually will set in a place of deception where the truth you know is the truth you think you understand. But there's no manifestation. And then guess what happens? We get frustrated, and a lot of people start pointing at God or at themselves and blaming somebody. Well, maybe God doesn't care. Maybe God doesn't want to show up. Maybe God's distant somehow. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe he doesn't like me so much. No, none of that's true. That's all lies. He's just waiting for you to act on it. It's the truth you act on. So in discipleship making, there has to be a readiness. So if we go back to Ephesians, we were talking about this verse in the middle of Ephesians, having put on the readiness given by the gospel of peace. Readiness on your feet. Okay, so this is the second thing I wanted to get to, is that because we think of the gospel as a message, correct? The gospel is the good news. So when we think about good news, we think about a message. So something that is translated and received by the mind, correct? Okay, so it's information. But the gospel is actually not translated to reach people until it goes from your head to your feet. Have you ever seen that before? We always think of the gospel as being something contained here, but it never moves into translation until it goes from here to here. The gospel of readiness on your feet. That's the truth in movement, in action. This is the go, therefore, and make disciples. In other words, move the information you know from your head to your feet. Put it into action and be ready to act upon that truth. Take it into every avenue of your life. Take it into every classroom. Take it into every job. Take it into every interaction. Take it into every home. Take it into every, you fill in the blanks. Be in the readiness of a gospel that's expressed in action. be ready to act on it.